Welcome to another episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Shea.
I'm Ruby.
And together we are a father and daughter team journeying for the first time through the Pokemon series of video games, the Pokemon anime, and the Pokemon Adventures manga. We are currently wandering through Generation 3, the Hoenn region. And today we'll be covering 3 chapters of the manga, and I think about 8 episodes of the anime, some of them being Chronicles. But before we get into that, let's catch up on what's been going on. So recently we watched the first volume of Stranger Things. That's been a big thing for us.
On my birthday.
And yeah, we're big Stranger Things fans. I was trying to get you and your sister already went back through the whole series.
I was trying so hard to wait so we could watch an episode each day, but then I was like, nope.
Can't do it. Now. Yeah, your mother and I have only gotten a couple episodes into season 4 before we watched them. I will hopefully finish them, and maybe she will too, before the next volume drops of season 5.
Christmas.
And then rewatch the 4 episodes we watched. But what'd you think of the first volume?
That was pretty cool.
I agree. It was really good.
And finding out. Wait, can we say things about it?
I mean...
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. If you have not watched, if you're waiting to watch once everything's dropped, wait. When you hear this, everything's already dropped. So if you haven't watched it, that's your own darn fault. But still, spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers for Stranger Things because you're waiting to watch 5 for some reason, your warning has happened now. A bunch. So, spoilers.
Okay. When Murray brought stuff one time and gave Jonathan his little thingy, I thought it was like weed or something.
Oh, you thought it was weed?
Yeah.
Well, the way he was talking, it was supposed to imply that it was like music for bedroom activities, maybe. Oh. There seemed to be a suggestion of that. But instead, it was
a ring.
Code because it was, it was a ring.
I was like, Jonathan sucks. He shouldn't be marrying anyone. But I'm like, oh wait, Nancy also sucks a little bit, so they deserve each other.
Honestly, everybody's been pretty cool this season so far.
Yeah. I mean, some people, like, it's not like I hate the characters. And I don't, like, wish them to die. It's just like,
Yeah. Yeah, going into the season, I'm like, I'm not a big Nancy fan, not a big Jonathan fan, not a big Will fan. And, like, it annoyed me, too, because for years, everybody's like, oh, Will's the main character. He has to do a bunch of stuff. I'm like, no. He was, like, the MacGuffin, the inciting incident, the thing that people were looking for. He was just an object in the first season. He was what drove all the other characters. He was never the main character.
Because that'd be like saying Holly's the main character.
Yeah, sure. And although she does seem like she will have a prominent role, much more than Will did. In season
She's
1.
already probably done more than Will did in season 1.
Right. And yeah, then Will was used quite a bit in season 2 with the whole Mind Flayer thing and everything. But he still wasn't even like the main character. He was important, for sure. So yeah, he was never like the main character, but he's definitely a main character here. And they made sure of that.
Kind of cool how he cracked the Demogorgons and stuff. And I get that. I mean, it makes sense that was him and nobody else, but it would have been cool if it was somebody else. Someone I liked more.
I thought this was perfect because it's still not even his power, right? He's just tapping into it. He's connected to it. Because we're connected.
Do you think he's going to keep the power when Svechna's gone?
Nope.
Or no? Oh.
I think when everything's said and done, the power will be gone. Even Elle's power might be gone by then.
Yeah, she might be gone.
Will might be gone.
They might get rid of all the powers.
The lore for Vecna, supposedly in D&D, the way to kill him is usually somebody has to be connected to him somehow. I don't understand all of it. I've just been hearing theories and stuff. And then that person has to die.
You'll get your wish.
Right. He was really cool, though, this time around. They definitely made him a lot cooler. Even when he stood up to his mom a little bit, that was a really good moment. And I like Joyce. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Joyce is great. Yeah. But she was definitely being overprotective, and he was right.
It's so funny seeing the short people, and it's like, and then the other people who surpassed them over the years. It's like Joyce is so short, and Will's all grown up, and it's like, oh no, he's still just in high school.
How do you feel about everybody being so old playing these high school kids?
I don't find it that big of a deal, but it's just kind of funny.
I think people are stupid that complain about it. You know why?
Because, like, every movie.
Well, not just that. Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, the main 4 boys are the same age as those actors were when they played the same age like high school kids. Like, they're not that far off at all. It's the same thing. We just watch these ones grow, is all.
In my opinion, though, when you are younger and looking from their younger perspective, seniors look like full-grown adults to you. Like,
sure, I guess.
Like anyone who was in high school when I was like in early middle school or whatever, they probably looked like basically adults.
The only one that weirds me out the most is probably Holly.
Holly.
Because, like, theoretically she's supposed to be like 7.
She looks like she's...
But the show even called it out because, like, everybody's, like, confused at how old she's supposed to be. And when Karen talks to Ted in some argument, she's like, do you even know how old her daughter is? And that was obviously a call out to the audience that watches the show. And I thought it was hilarious. But the thing about Holly is that actress, when she was playing this character for this show, she is either the same age or even slightly older than the boys were when they were playing like 11, 12-year-olds, and she's supposed to be playing like 8-year-old or something. So it's just, that one's a little off.
So the Holly from like season 1 and 2.
Different actress.
Different actress?
Yeah, they replaced the actress for this season.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, she never had anything to do with the other ones, really. So.
I'm just finding it interesting. Yeah, but it was definitely like, oh, Holly grew up!
Yeah. Well, people thought that because I would think it was the same actress for the rest of the seasons, if I remember correctly, which means like she already looked like she was growing up faster than she should at times if you were paying attention. Fortunately, she wasn't in a lot of scenes, so it didn't detract or nobody really paid that close attention. People did, but not the general.
I bet that's why she has pigtails, is to try to make her
It is.
younger.
It is most likely true. Well, that's why.
I don't feel like she looks...
She also looks a lot like her, or I mean not her, looks like Vecna's sister. Oh, do you think Vecna's the big bad? Do you think he's the bad guy?
Vecna?
Yeah.
This is a trick question.
So your answer is yes. I can tell by your reaction. Well, you did until I asked the question. Because I don't think he is.
Who do you think's the bad guy?
Like the Mind Flayer or something. Like
Isn't the Mind Flayer like controlled by Vecna?
You'd think so. I'm not so sure. Because Will was being controlled by the Mind Flayer as well. I think the Mind Flayer might be the one that's truly in control because I've learned some stuff about the prequel play, The First Shadow. There's a stage play for Stranger Things. You'd have to go to a live theater to see it.
Ooh, we should go.
I would love to. But in that, it explains Vecna getting lost in that cave system for a while. And when he came back out, his blood type was changed somehow, supposedly, is what I've heard. And that's when he started showing his abilities. So something happened to him. And he also supposedly visited Dimension X at some point during that. And we're not sure if Dimension X and the Upside Down are the same or two different dimensions.
Did he get flayed in that place where Max is hiding?
It's quite possible. Which is why he's afraid of it.
Because Mind Flayer lives there and is more powerful than him.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't really know all the details. But I don't think Vecna is going to turn out to be like... But let me rephrase. I don't think Henry Creel is going to turn out to be the villain, like the main villain that we all think he is. Because the thing about Vecna, Mind Flayer, Demogorgon, those aren't even the actual real names of those creatures.
Yeah.
Those are the D&D terms. But Henry Creel could very well be a flayed person and has been for a long time. And what do you think's up with the kid kidnapping stuff?
The kid kidnapping?
Yeah, he's trying to kidnap like 12 children.
I didn't think about it that much, I guess.
I've been seeing a lot of theories too, so like the Upside Down has a wall now. Yeah, that's a circle. 12 kids, 12 numbers on a clock. We hear the clock all the time.
And kids are easier to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
sorry, this has turned into a Stranger Things podcast.
Something else that's interesting is we've got Will the Wise, Holly the Heroic, and Delightful Derek. And
Delightful
they all got their nicknames. And I wonder if anyone else is going to have nicknames.
Oh, there's Mike the Brave.
Yeah, that one doesn't.
It's not alliteration, I know.
Yeah. Just as lame as Mike is.
Mike is even better this season. Everybody's better this season, I think. A lot of people are like upset with Steve or Dustin or both because of the way they're interacting. And I don't like that they're not on good terms because I love that relationship. But like it feels like it fits. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's going to be fixed probably.
Oh, yeah. It's got to.
Like,
maybe it'll be right before one of them dies, but yeah, it'll be fixed.
Yeah, I wasn't assuming it was going to be like that forever.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like sad that they're not friends, but like.
Oh, they are friends. They're just not getting along right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I kind of like Dustin's position as a character, like how he is dealing with his grief and stuff. I don't think he's always made the right calls, but I also understand the calls that he's made. Like, I'm like, I could have seen myself doing that at certain points. That kind of thing. Not necessarily literally that thing, but still. Anyway, so yeah, Stranger Things has been a big part of our stuff. Obviously, there's been like Thanksgiving and everything. We're getting ready for Christmas and all that stuff. We're excited for that. But yeah, Stranger Things has been a lot of fun, and we're really excited for more of that. Oh, one last thing. Do you think that Byler is Endgame? No, two things. Do you think Byler is Endgame?
Do I think Byler is Endgame?
Yeah. Do you think that the show will lead to Mike and Will being together?
I sure hope not.
I don't think it will, and I definitely don't think that that's the way the show should go based off of what they've built in the past. Do you think that Jancy is Endgame? Or Stancy? Or maybe neither. Maybe Nancy's just free agent by the end.
I don't really want Nancy and Steve to be together.
I don't
Especially how Steve brought up that they were friends. Like, I want that to be the way it is. And that's fine with me.
That could have just been him saying that because he's not going to admit that he still has the thing for Nancy.
Maybe.
Like, that could be a cover-up, so.
Maybe.
I don't want them to be together either. I'm fine with Jancy, for sure.
Yeah, they're both meh characters. They deserve each other.
And again, I still even think they're better this season, so.
Yes, like, a lot of characters are, like, better or whatever, but they're both... Nancy's been cool with guns.
Okay, now it's one last thing. Who do you think is most likely to die?
Oh, gosh. I feel like I have so many different theories for how each different character could die.
Sure.
And each one makes sense.
Sure.
Like, Elle could definitely sacrifice herself.
Yep.
Max could sacrifice some or, like, have to give up being in the cave and, like, go and try to save some kids or something, and she could be snapped.
Snapped makes me think of, like, Thanos snapping everybody away, because that was the snap.
I don't think Max is going to die, but she could.
She's kind of already dead. I mean, she's not dead, but still.
I don't feel like Holly's going to die, but Holly could.
Yeah, I don't think Holly's going to die. In fact, she's probably the person I think is least likely to die. Yeah, if I had to pick a least likely, it'd probably be Holly.
I feel like...
Out of, like, the more
Hopper
prominent
could
characters.
Die.
Oh, yeah, Hopper easily.
I thought Hopper was going to die.
Yeah, we were all supposed to think that, especially since it was the finale of Volume 1.
I don't know if Joyce is going to die. I don't feel like she will, but she could. Lucas... I don't know. He's just not out there a lot.
That's true. He's got his own thing going. Ooh,
he could die
might
protecting
even be
Max.
He could. Him and Holly are kind of in the same area in my head of, like, likeliness of dying.
I just don't feel like he's out there. Like,
yeah,
he's doing stuff. I don't feel like he's not pissing anybody off.
He's not pissing anybody off like Dustin is.
Yeah. Dustin might.
He might die just from bullies. Jeez. I don't think he's going to die from bullies.
I wonder what happened to the bullies.
I hope they're blind for life.
Mike might die. I definitely feel like with the conversation Mike and Elle had, one of them could die.
Oh, for sure.
Or they both could die together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who wants to live forever?
Will, especially after what you said, he has probability of dying.
Yeah.
8 might die. I feel like someone with powers might die.
I think, you know what? Now that you mention 8, I think 8 is the most likely person to die.
They had to bring someone who we aren't gonna, like, sob over.
Right. Because, as we've seen with the Duffer Brothers, they don't pull the trigger on killing, like, anybody. Like, Max died, but she didn't stay that way. Hopper died, but not really. Like, and they've said multiple times that they're not Game of Thrones, and I don't know how familiar you are with Game of Thrones. I've never watched or read them, but like what people do know is that a lot of main characters die in the books and show. Like, and they're like, we're not that show, we're not that book series.
Which I like. I don't like everybody dying.
Oh, for sure. I don't want everybody to die either. And
everyone's like, well, the weight has to be thrown. It has to be like, there has to be stakes. And I'm like,
I was just gonna say stakes. Like that's what a lot of people feel like, and I almost always agree that like people have to die. But as the show's going, I'm like, I keep thinking people might die, and that's the stakes. Like it sort of feels like there's stakes because it feels like they could die, but they're not going to.
Like in the Hunger Games when Prim died, I was like shocked and it was so sad, and I wish she hadn't. Like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, the stakes, gotta make it interesting.
That's not what I said with that one.
You did tell me that, like, people have to die in something to make it.
Okay.
I hate it. I don't want people to die. Like, you can kill off people who I have a little bit of attachment to. Like, when they killed off Finnick. That was kind of sad. But I could get over that.
What about, what's her name? What is her name? Rue?
Sad.
It's super sad.
I mean, like, all the little kids keep dying in the Hunger Games, and it needs to be fixed.
Yep. It shows why it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think death always has to happen, but I do think it definitely can add to the weight of something and make it feel like I think it is good sometimes to have it. And if you don't have it ever in anything, then any show or thing you're gonna be like, well, nobody's gonna die because they never do it.
And that would make me happy.
Except that then I would be like, I'm not worried for anybody ever. And I like to actually at least feel like there's a possibility.
I guess maybe. I just don't want them to kill off anyone too.
Yeah.
Big. They could kill Will, I'd be okay with that. They could kill Ada, I would be okay with that. They could kill if the Wheeler parents died, I would be like.
They didn't even pull the trigger on that. Like Ted's just in a coma.
Yeah, they pulled the trigger on Ted.
They couldn't even kill him off. They're like, no, we're not gonna kill him either.
That one, it's like really. He's allowed to die.
So, anyway, so that's our thing. That's that and the holidays. Stranger Things and holidays. That's our life right now. Besides Pokemon,
like a few of the kids might die. The 12 kids, they might not be able to save them all.
That's possible,
and
but
it could be
they're
really
not.
Close
they're not
to
really
Holly.
main. Like if you mentioned Derek Turnbow, or Holly, those are like main character kids. That would be something. But the other kids dying, that's not what I mean for like who's most likely to die.
I'm just picturing like.
I tried to get us out of here.
If Holly and Derek are like right here on the pillars, and then like dying like this, it could get really, really close.
Sure.
But they would survive.
Sure.
Anyway.
Anyway, enough about that. We will revert back to a Pokemon podcast after that Stranger Things tangent. We are big fans, though. And now with all that caught up, let's go ahead and jump into the manga. So we're starting with Adventure 184, Distracting Dustox. Sapphire wakes up and realizes Ruby patched her up and, as a bonus, modified his clothes to fit her, thus giving Sapphire the look of her game counterpart instead of, like, Tarzan-y type rags. Ruby is happy to have done something nice, but he still isn't so sure about having Mudkip, as it isn't as cool looking or cute as his other Pokemon. While trying to train it to walk in a cooler fashion, a Dustox shows up and attacks.
Well, he tries to pull off a leaf, and then he pulls out a Dustox.
Right.
And, like, look at the leaves. Look at the wing. Like...
He wasn't paying attention. Back at Birch's place, Ruby's parents learn that Ruby ran away from home. Birch offers to contact the police, but Norman intends to handle it himself. Back to Ruby, his Pokemon...
But when the phone goes off, he's like, he hung up. And she's like, he probably smashed the phone. He does that a lot.
So he apparently has anger issues.
And he did smash the phone.
Back to Ruby, his Pokemon get poisoned by Dustox powder except Mudkip, who was slower than all the rest as they ran. When things get hairy, Mudkip saves the day. We also find out that Ruby forgot to return Birch's Pokedex with the professor's other belongings, and it came in useful in trying to understand Dustox and deal with it. Ruby is warmed up to Mudkip after the incident and names it Moo Moo. Back at Birch's, Sapphire changes into the clothes Ruby gave her. She says her goodbyes to her dad and takes off to start trying to take on the gyms by swinging away on a vine, and there are 79 days left for their competition. Now we move on to Adventure 185, Nixing Nuzleaf. So I think I forgot to mention that Ruby had been in Old Town when he was doing some of his training stuff, and I think that's when he ran into the Dustox when he was leaving that town. Now he's getting the hang of the running shoes and is zooming off to Petalburg City. But on the way, a bunch of wild Pokemon pop out of some bushes, and Ruby is attacked by a Nuzleaf. Mudkip handles it, and then Ruby finds a winded boy who was trying to catch a Pokemon because he doesn't have any. Ruby offers to help teach this kid, Wally, how to catch Pokemon, but he says that someone really nice has already offered and is on his way. And Ruby realizes it is Norman, his father, and so he hides. And then we go to Adventure 186. Brushing past Breloom. Ruby had dragged Wally into hiding with him and won't explain why he is hiding from his own father. Norman shows up and finds a wild Breloom and sends his Vigoroth to attack it. Then Wally pops out and is ready for Norman to teach him. However, the gym leader won't and claims Wally deceived him by not disclosing how sick he was. Whatever is wrong with Wally is why he is moving to another city to be with relatives, because it is where the hospital he needs is located. Then Norman senses another person around and tries to find him. Ruby is able to stay hidden, and so Norman leaves. Wally collapses, and Ruby brings him back to the boys' home in Petalburg City. Ruby wants to leave soon to avoid his dad, but he also wants to help Wally, as he can relate to having his father telling him to give up on his silly dreams. So Ruby is going to help Wally sneak out and help him catch a Pokemon. To be continued. And now it's time for the anime. Starting with episode 284, or season 6, episode 8. A Tale with a Twist. Or Habuneku Tai Kimori, Hisatsu no Hataku Kogeki. Or Habunake vs. Kimori, Strike of Death.
You didn't read it right.
No, sorry, yeah. Let me see if I can do this to your standards. Habunake versus Kimori, Strike of Death!
I think they're going to get it wrong. Didn't have enough in the first part.
Well, you just spoiled it. All right. Ash and Co. are still in the woods, and when they bring out their Pokemon for food, not to eat the Pokemon, I worded that weird. When they bring out food, they bring out their Pokemon so their Pokemon can eat.
I thought there was one missing in these episodes.
Trico seems to want to be alone and climbs up a tree and breaks off a new twig to chew on. I do love his little toothpick twig thing that he's got going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
While everyone is eating, Torchic is running around crazy and then gets tripped by a Seviper who steals the Torchic's food. So I think Kimori was Torchic. Kimori was Trico, so Habunake must be Seviper.
That would make sense.
Then Trico pulls a tuxedo mask and throws his twig down into the ground between Seviper and Torchic and battles the snake. When Seviper creates a haze, Trico climbs a tree and shoots down to rescue Torchic. But then Seviper comes and hits Trico from behind. The gang sick more Pokemon on Seviper, driving it off, but now Trico is in bad shape. While the gang head for a Pokemon Center, we find Team Rocket was spying again, and now they want Seviper. They set a pit trap for it with a basket of fruit, but Seviper nabs the basket with its tail, so Team Rocket stands on their own trap and fall in. Classic Team Rocket.
Yeah.
The next plan involves catching it in a net, but it breaks out of that.
Just use a Pokeball.
Right. While working on a new plan, Team Rocket are eating rice balls, and they fight over the last one, which ends up flying off into the water. Then Jessie pulls out one she set aside just in case. So she was already like stashing them, which is why they went gone so fast. But then Seviper steals that one. When Wobbuffet is no use in the battle, Jessie throws in Meowth, who just gets batted back out and knocks Team Rocket down, sending Jessie's last rice ball flying away out of her pocket. She chases... What?
So they all had an even amount, but then she stored 2 away and was still fighting for the last one.
Yep. Well, we know that Jessie is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So she chases it down, and Seviper is trying to get it too, and then Seviper snaps down on Jessie's hair, cutting it off for another count against the hair loss stuff, because I think I want to just more focus in on that. And I was thinking we could give it a name, but I had a couple options. Mangled Mane or Lost Locks.
Oh. Wouldn't it go in the Vanity one?
Well, I might toss out the Vanity. We had troubles with Vanity, but I definitely want to keep tallies on the hair for sure, specifically.
Okay. I don't really care whichever one sounds good.
Well, I want a decision. I want some help here. I came up with 2 ideas.
Yeah, they both sound good.
We'll go with Lost Locks.
Okay.
Since you have no opinion.
I said I like them.
You're so bland. No opinions, no decisions made over there. You have no feelings or desires in any direction.
No, I have a lot of hate.
A lot of hate.
Towards something.
Towards me? Oh. Spiro. And we've seen how Jessie gets about her hair getting cut off, and like with the Scythers, so she attacks Seviper herself in a rage with fury swipes. And when Seviper is weak, she does throw a Pokeball and catches it for a gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
And then we have our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon uses its wings to glide down from high cliffs. Back at the Pokemon Center, the gang find out Trico snuck out of his room before fully recovering, so Ash and Co go looking for it. Turns out he is at a waterfall and is diving down to try and break a rock over and over again with his tail, until he finally succeeds. And that involves like a twisting in the air. As they're about to reunite with Trico, Pikachu is nabbed by Team Rocket, who offer an interesting intro in exchange.
Prepare for trouble with Pikachu.
And make it double, ×2. And then they throw in an outstanding outro for good measure.
We blast off so beautifully at the speed of light.
So love us and surrender, or prepare to fight.
And I think, was it at this point when Jessie already has her hair back?
Oh, probably.
She got it really fast in the Scyther one. At least they waited till the next episode. This one she gets it immediately.
She must have had a wig stash somewhere.
Is it all just a wig?
I'm thinking maybe. And wigs are expensive, so that's why she's so upset. Maybe. Each side starts throwing out Pokemon, and we get a return of the grass-type distracted Pokemon for James as Cacnea comes out and hugs James painfully. When Seviper is thrown out, Trico is ready to defeat it, but Ash helps Trico understand he is not alone and has others fighting beside him. Trico's training pays off, and he takes Seviper down. When Pikachu is free, he zaps Team Rocket and sends them blasting off again! Ding! And then that was it. And who's that Pokemon? It's Gligar. And we got a count for Lost Locks, Gotta Catch 'Em All, Interesting Intro, Outstanding Outro, and a Distracted Pokemon. Now to rank it. All right, where do you want to put a tail with a twist?
I want it at least above In the Nicker of Time and probably at least below Trees a Crowd. Maybe right above a Poached Eco and right below You Never Can Tailo.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so that makes a tail with a twist, number 4 out of 8. Oh, there was 3 exclamation points. Woo.
There was 3 exclamation points. And I know you probably didn't guess because Daddy's terrible at reading Japanese.
And I know
titles.
probably did guess because she spoiled it by saying you didn't say it excitedly enough.
You're leaving that in there. Really? Well, you can, because maybe they need that, because you're just like the bad hints for who's that Pokemon.
Oh, dear. All right. Season 6, Episode 9. Taming of the Shroomish. Or Kaiki, Kinokoko Yashiki no Nazo. Bizarre Mystery of the Kinokoko Mansion. So we were doing really well with just being in the Petalburg Forest for an extended amount of time to stretch out the episodes. We had a random Pokemon Center or two or whatever, which is fine. But now we've veered off course, because now we have a town, well, actually a city, in the middle of the forest, which is kind of weird. Like, it looked like it was surrounded by forest on all sides.
Well, that's because it's hidden by the forest. That's why we didn't see it in the game.
Gotcha. But so we have a whole city now that isn't in the game, which I'm not too surprised by, but I was hopeful that we weren't going to get too many of this stuff. So the gang splits up to do different things while they're in town. Brock wants to get supplies, and May goes with him because she wants to just go shopping. Because she's apparently a shopaholic. So that leaves Ash and Max together. And somewhere in the middle of the city, a bunch of people are cutting down trees near an old abandoned mansion. It gives the workers the creeps, and they lost a worker recently because of it. Like they think it's haunted or something. Team Rocket is also working to cut down trees as members of the workforce there or whatever. They have uniforms and stuff. So, must be trying to make money again for new busted bots.
Yeah, they're always broke.
Meanwhile, Ash and Max go get some lunch and are now looking for city Pokemon, and they find a Shroomish in an alleyway. While shopping, Brock and May find out about the cursed mansion, and May wants to check it out. And Brock seems quite nervous about it. The legends of the mansion speak of random footprints, and sometimes the people start to choke on the air. So we can pretty much guess that there are just Shroomish wandering around using their spores in the mansion. Like, it seemed pretty obvious to me, especially with the title. You know, I'm like, oh, it's just Shroomish.
Yeah, they make it a big deal, but it's not. It's like, guys, Pokemon exist. Have you not heard of this?
Yeah, but ghost Pokemon exist too.
Oh.
Max and Ash try to befriend the Shroomish in the alleyway and almost get stunned for their efforts. But with some of Brock's Pokemon food and Pikachu chatting, Shroomish warms up to them. As Ash and Max take Shroomish toward the Pokemon Center, they pass the mansion, and the Pokemon runs off and goes towards it. Brock and May arrive just a moment earlier, and Team Rocket sees everybody arriving and set into work to steal Pikachu. Shroomish runs into the building, and the gang gives chase. Ash and Max reunite with Brock and May. A guy shows up saying no one is supposed to be there because it is dangerous while the tree cutting. When he learns that a Shroomish ran in, he said he used to play at the mansion with Shroomish when visiting his grandfather. But then all the Shroomish left after his grandfather died. Or so he thinks. Dun dun dun. Our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon looks serious, but acts kind and playful. Wandering around the mansion, they find Shroomish. With more Shroomish. They speculate that the Shroomish must have moved into the mansion as more and more trees were cut down
Destroying
in the
their
efforts
home.
in efforts to build more of this forest city. Now the mansion is going to be destroyed, and they'll have nowhere left to go. Enter Team Rocket with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble in a cloud of dust.
Make it double. There's no choice. You must. James tosses in Cacnea, and we get another distracted Pokemon as it hugs James again. Before the battle can really get going, a ton of Shroomish arrive and stun spore Team Rocket while the others escape the mansion. I think the guy might be... during all this too, when the guy was talking, the one that used to play there with the Shroomish with his grandfather,
Yeah.
his voice, I'm pretty sure it's the same voice as the narrator of the show. It sounded a lot like him, like the inflections and stuff.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. The gang want the destruction of the mansion to be stopped for the Shroomish, but it's too late to stop it. Then Team Rocket arrives with a busted bot that is airtight to protect them from stun spore. They start nabbing Shroomish, and they all start stun sporing. Team Rocket gloat, but then they realize they're running out of air and it's getting kind of stuffy in there, so they open their window so they can breathe. Which just lets the stun spore in. It's so dumb.
You're such idiots.
Once the Shroomish are free, Pikachu zaps Team Rocket and sends them blasting off again.
Ding!
And the solution to the Shroomish problem is planting new trees so that they'll have a new home. In how long? Like, they're not going to grow before the mansion's destroyed?
I don't know.
It's a dumb plot. Or dumb solution.
They didn't cut down the whole forest, so the Shroomish should just go live in the other.
That was the whole thing, too. It's like they could just go out to the forest. It's all around the city. So, not the strongest plot for an episode. All right. Or who's that Pokemon? It's Snubble.
Snubble looks angry and is angry. It's not like it's actually playful.
The one that chased Meowth around wasn't a really angry Pokemon.
It's not super angry, but not very playful. No, they're like, oh, they're so fun and playful, but they're not.
Then our tallies are an interesting intro, a distracted Pokemon, and a busted bot. Now, it's time to rank it. So, Taming of the Shroomish.
Oh, like Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah. Which you've never seen or read, but you have seen 10 Things I Hate About You.
Which is basically the same thing.
I wouldn't say that, but it is definitely based off of that Shakespeare play.
I don't think I've seen a lot of Shakespeare.
I don't think you have.
I've not seen Romeo and Juliet.
No,
I just don't really want to, though.
You watched Much Ado About Nothing with me the one time.
Watched what?
Much Ado About Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It
was a really good movie.
It's where the girl and that young guy, like a bunch of soldiers, return to this place or whatever, and then that girl's gonna be, her name's Hero, and she's gonna marry the young dashing guy in the group that returned.
Who names their child a hero?
Anyway, but then she's framed for having some kind of affair with some other guy, and so they have to kill her, but she doesn't actually get killed, she just gets tucked away so that the guy can feel that shame or whatever for having caused her death, that heartbreak or whatever it is. But throughout this whole thing too, there's Benedict and Beatrice who are always at each other, like snipping at each other, making fun of each other, all these things, and then everybody conspires to get them two to fall in love, and it works. You don't remember any of this?
I kind of remember the Benedict and Beatrice.
Which is the best part.
Oh.
That's my favorite stuff, is there. Anyway, Taming of the Shroomish had a stupid plot that didn't make much sense, and they had a terrible solution to it, so I think I'm putting it at the bottom.
Wait, what? You're putting it below? There's no place like Hoenn? Wait, why is that at the bottom?
Because of Max. He was annoying.
Yeah.
That's why it was at the bottom. There were still good things about it, but he was annoying. So yes, that puts Taming of the Shroomish at number 9 out of 9. Now,
You got 9th place!
yay!
We didn't say exclamation points last time.
No. Exclamation points for the last episode was 2. Now, Season 6, Episode 10. You said a mouthful. Or, Shijo Saikyo no Peripa Arawareru.
Sit down a bit there, bucko.
The strongest Pelipper in history appears.
You're supposed to tone it down! Stop it! Okay, I'll just read the easy one. The strongest Pelipper in history appears.
We start with a recap, and then the group passes a sign that says there is a gym with the most powerful Pokemon ever. And when they go to check it out, someone comes out of the gym freaking out about the powerful Pokemon. Like there's just no way anybody could defeat it. This one's also kind of dumb, guys. I'm sorry. All right.
It's really dumb.
I think there was a little bit more cleverness to this one, but overall, like, there was easy ways to deal with this situation.
And the way they're like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, it's obvious what he's doing.
Well, they made it obvious for us, at least. Anyway, Ash challenges the owner for some trainer training, and we find it is a Pelipper that knows moves it shouldn't, and Max is totally flipping out about it. He's like, it can't learn those moves. This is impossible. And May sees this as evidence that Max's studies don't teach him everything. But they actually did, because she's wrong.
Because conveniently, there's a little Pokeball sound thing. Everything's coming out of Pelipper's mouth.
Yeah, there's a flash, and the flash of light and the sound of a Pokeball releasing Pokemon.
Even if they didn't have the flash of light, maybe if they could only vaguely hear the Pokeball sound. Still, guys.
And they had a little bit of a visual cue that he had stuff in his mouth.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
Anyway. So the dumb thing here, though, like, I don't even care that they didn't know. Like, that's not my issue. My issue is that it's still, like, just because it has all these other moves, the moves that it's weak against, it's still going to be weak to those things. And it's a flying water Pokemon, so Pikachu could just kill it pretty dang quickly. Like, this is just dumb. That's my problem. I don't care. So yeah, it's a little ridiculous there. And then they make a lot of dumb decisions during the battle too. So like, yeah, because Ash starts off really dumb and sends in a grass type Pokemon, which I mean is good against water, but not flying, and flying is good against grass. So if it uses any flying moves, tough luck, pal. But the other trainer is just as dumb and uses Vine Whip on a grass Pokemon when it has, we learn, there's fire in there.
Plus the Pelipper might know Peck.
Possibly. So, I mean, come on. Like, this doesn't show me you're powerful, then, if you're not using the ones that it's actually going to be, like, if you have to use a strong move against the type. That's the whole point of cheating like this, I would think. But no, they're using surprise tactics. It uses Vine Whip. What? How did it do that? We're surprised. We can't win.
That's so stupid.
Oh, man. Okay, so then Ash sends in a flying type to go against the flying Pokemon. He uses Tailo. And that's when we see Flamethrower take it out. And then we also learn it has electric attacks when Ash sends in Pikachu, which it should have used against Tailo.
So smart.
Because Ash, of course, does finally send in Pikachu, which should just finish this off. But, of course, they both have electric moves, and so they hit each other and collide and explode everything, which takes Pikachu and Pelipper down.
That's logical.
Oh, man. The typing and choices was just so bad in this episode. And the guy panics and lets slip that Pelipper needs a more powerful Pokemon, but quickly corrects himself, and no one seems to notice. But it was pretty clear from the start that Pelipper has Pokeballs in its mouth and is switching them out for what it, quote-unquote, needs. Which obviously it wasn't doing. Team Rocket spied the whole event and decide they want the Pelipper. They make an announcement from their balloon, drawing out Pelipper and its trainer, and when he asks who they are, we get an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, we're Team Rocket. Hear us shout.
And make it double. How is that for a spout? And then that is followed up by an outstanding outro.
Team Rocket spouts off the truth at the speed of light.
Surrender now, I always say, or prepare to fight. When Pelipper uses Vine Whip, they grab hold of it with a contraption and pull, but instead of getting the Pokemon they were after, Bellsprout pops out of its mouth. Team Rocket, discovering the truth, force the trainer to get Pelipper to obey Team Rocket, and they start a scheme to battle other trainers for their Pokemon and keep them. But before we get too far into that, we have our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon has a connection to ancient hieroglyphs. At the Pokemon Center, the gang learn that people battling the most powerful Pokemon are losing their Pokemon in the matches, and they don't think the trainer, Anthony, is behind it. So they go to investigate, and when Team Rocket finds out that they're there, they add more Pokeballs to Pelipper, and they put Meowth in there to help choose which Pokemon should be released. A battle between Ash and Pelipper happens, and during it, Max goes exploring the building and finds Anthony all tied up. Anthony tells the truth to put a stop to the trickery, Team Rocket panics, and Meowth decides to douse Pikachu with water and then electrocute him, but the water gun sends Meowth and the Pokeballs out, and it takes out Team Rocket's disguises. So they try to escape with their winnings, but Pelipper cuts the Pokeballs free and then douses the balloon with water, so Pikachu zaps it and sends Team Rocket blasting off again. Ding! Ding. Goodbyes are given, and the gang is off again.
I think you spelled unknown wrong. Or is that how they spelled it?
That's how the Pokemon is spelled.
Noun. You're supposed to have a K in there.
That's how unknown is truly spelled. But Pokemon don't spell like the words truly are most of the time. Like Dugong is an actual word, but it's not spelled right. Anyway, who's that Pokemon? It's unknown. So I guess I'm not giving you an answer. Good luck figuring it out.
Incorrectly.
Spelled the way the Pokemon is spelled in America. Anyway.
What's spelled wrong?
Tally is trainer training. An interesting intro and an outstanding outro. And before I forget, there was 2 exclamation points, but only 1 sentence.
So it's still not good.
And now to rank it.
I think it goes right below In the Nicker of Time and right above A Ruin with a View.
So I'm okay with the ranking, because while this was really poorly executed, there was interesting ideas involved in it. Like, the idea of doing that with a Pelipper was interesting.
It could go down another one if you wanted, but I don't know. That's right.
Nope, it sounds good to me. So that puts You Said a Mouthful at number 7 out of 10. And so now we have Season 6, Episode 11, A Bite to Remember. Or, Goreina to Pochiena, Shinka no Shinpi. Or, Goreina and Puchiena, Mystery of Evolution. Everyone is admiring all the Pokemon around them, and there isn't usually so many clustered in one area like that, and Ash thinks there is something strange about that. Then a trio of Mightyena confront the gang. They all toss in their Pokemon to battle, and a Poochyena bounces around hitting all the Pokemon and trainers.
There's something super strange about everything. You're 10 forever, your brain doesn't work, everyone else comes and goes and might even grow up, but you're 10. Pokemon exist and they're based off of animals that apparently don't exist. Of course there's something strange going on!
Then a ranger shows up.
There's clones for Nurse Joyce and Officer Jenny's.
We're not done. I thought we were done.
I forgot about that part. So, yeah, something strange is going on, Ash. Good job. You finally noticed.
Then a ranger shows up, tells Poochyena that's enough, and then scolds the gang because they are in a Pokemon preserve.
Okay,
again.
put fences up or something, guys. Come on now.
Right?
Or signs.
She thought they might be poachers, but when she learns they're headed for the gym in Rustboro, she realizes they're okay. And, she just takes them at their word.
Something strange going on.
Then Brock jumps in to flirt with Ranger Katrina, upsetting the Mightyena. We don't see what they do, but Brock mentions no biting, and what could possibly be babysitting Brock.
Sure.
All right. That means we're going to get a second one, too, in this episode. Team Rocket make it into the preserve and want to get all the Pokemon and don't care that Wobbuffet warns them that, that they're not supposed to, because, he pulls up a sign, because there was a sign for him to pull up. Back at Katrina's cabin, Brock is flirting again, and Poochyena smacks him in the head for another babysitting Brock. Max thinks Poochyena will evolve soon, but Katrina explains that it was born at the same time as the other 3 Mightyena, and it is possible that Poochyena might never evolve, and that that's okay. Max totally disagrees and decides to work with it to get it to evolve. May looks at her Pokedex to learn about its evolution, and Brock explains different forms of evolution and gets into the Eevee evolutions too. But these are just pictures, so I don't think these count as evolution. And then we have a perfect time for our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon launches kicks while spinning. While training Poochyena, Max gets some friendly fire with Torchic using Ember. Max comes back and wants to borrow one of Ash's Pokemon, and May tells him not to do it because Max is just going to have them lose on purpose against Poochyena. Ash agrees with May that isn't okay to do. Why is it a problem that Ash says that that's not okay to do, to have his Pokemon lose on purpose?
Because he's done it before?
Yes, he has. You remember when? Paris. When he used his Charmeleon, who didn't lose on purpose like he was supposed to, but Pikachu losing on purpose. Remember? Pikachu. Remember? Because that was exactly what he did to help the Paris evolve. Was lose on purpose. So I don't know why Ash is agreeing at this point. But anyway.
Remember?
I mean,
something strange is going
you could
on.
argue that it was for a different purpose. Like, they were trying to get that Pokemon to evolve so that the mushroom could be used to heal people or heal Pokemon or whatever, because you could make potions out of it or whatever. And this is just strictly for the evolution. But still. Katrina found a part of a trap to capture Pokemon, and so they know there are poachers out there, and sure enough, Team Rocket have a net full of Pokemon. Then Team Rocket spy on Max and come up with a plan. They make a fake evolver machine and try to trick Max into putting Poochyena in there. However, I was really kind of impressed that Max didn't go for it. So Team Rocket forced Poochyena into the machine.
Yeah. Didn't Meowth keep changing suits to like be like, oh yeah, evolution and stuff, and he was in his sunflower suit again?
Yeah, first he was a Persian, which is normal, right? He turned into a Persian with a costume. But then they're like, Team Rocket's like, oh, but we can do more. And, like, it turned into a totally different Pokemon. And Max is like, you can't do that. Like, that doesn't work.
At the first part, he was starting to be like a little, oh, really? And then
Well, with the Persian. Only with the Persian. As soon as it turned into a completely different Pokemon, they lost him. And especially when, like, he had the Sunflower costume and some other ones, but then he was trying to change so fast that he had, like, a mix of costumes on, so it wasn't even, like, any one Pokemon. And Max is like, yeah, no, nope, not gonna happen.
not possible.
Anyway, so then Team Rocket reveal themselves and their net full of Pokemon, including Poochyena now. Ash and Co arrive, and Team Rocket experiment with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble as we blind you with science.
And make it double while we show you our defiance using something more simple than a kitchen appliance. Yeah, that's right, he double rhymed.
Except for that one time he didn't rhyme.
We haven't gotten there yet. Not even close.
No, it's so funny though.
We'll talk about it then. Then Team Rocket snag Pikachu and fly off in their balloon. So Poochyena finally uses Bite and opens the net, freeing all the Pokemon. Oh yeah, I don't know if I covered that. The whole thing is that Poochyena would never use Bite. He would just tackle. And they're like, you gotta use Bite if you ever hope to evolve.
Yeah.
So he finally uses it here.
Yay, so emotional.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Then Pikachu zaps Team Rocket and sends them blasting off again! Ding! And then Poochyena experiences its evolution and becomes a Mightyena.
Wow.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Hitmontop. And we have 2 babysitting Brock, a friendly fire, an interesting intro, and an evolution. And 3 exclamation points. And now to rank it. Alright, so this one I definitely think is better than You Said a Mouthful, but probably not better than In the Nicker of Time. So it'll be right under In the Nicker of Time.
Okay.
So that makes that number 7 out of 11. Season 6, Episode 12, The Lotad Lowdown. Or Hasubo to Furawa Shoppu no Sanshimai. Or Hasubo and the 3 Sisters of the Flower Shop. Yes?
That's not good.
Yes, it was.
Husband.
No, that's too boring. It had at least an exclamation
of the
point.
flower shop.
Remember, we've had some without them.
Oh yeah, if there was none, it'd be like.
All right. The gang are enjoying a break by a lake and taking a swim, unaware of the creepy red eyes watching them in the water.
They just can't swim peacefully, can they?
Turns out they're just a bunch of friendly Lotad wanting to play. Because they're not actually creepy. When on shore, they all perform water gun to create a special fountain of water. But one of them is barely spraying anything until Brock gets close and gets a faceful! He is the smallest of the bunch. A bossy young girl tells them to come with her for a lecture as if they'd done something wrong. Team Rocket is weary and desperate for water, and James collapses and tells them to go on without him. They offer to give him the first sip when they get to water, but when James spots a juicy berry and points it out, Meowth and Jessie fight over it, and James gets nothing. Though, that turns out to be a benefit to him since it sets their mouths on fire, and they're really desperate for water. At a cabin, the little girl gets scolded by her older sister and lectured for her rudeness to the gang. Brock is in love with Nicole, the older sister, and then with the third sister, Rita. However, the youngest, Natalie, is in love with Brock. Rita brought in a whaler watering can to help water the garden or something, which I thought was cool because that's it from the game. And this is kind of like a flower shop then, which is also on the way to Rustboro. So,
Huzzah!
I always love the connections when it fits the game. And I think there were 3 people in there, right? Working it in the game. The gang get a lesson on berries, and there aren't any ripe citrus berries yet, and Brock would like to explore all the berries because they were like tasting them and stuff like that. There are problems with the pipes for watering, and so the Lotad are helping out by bringing in water themselves.
They're using their heads, to scoop up water and go dump it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they just use water gun earlier?
Shh. This is all very logical. It makes total sense. I mean, with the solid ideas and concepts of the last 2 episodes, I don't see what's the problem here. I mean, anyway, when Team Rocket spy on the gang, help getting water with the Lotad, Meowth comes up with another boss fantasy about like having a Lotad for the boss to like bring water to him so that he can just like wash up and stuff in bed without having to get out of bed.
I would hate that. Water dripping everywhere,
Right?
water.
That's kind of what I was thinking. The little Lotad isn't exactly sure how to help water the garden. Like, he has water there, but he just stops. It doesn't dump it. But Brock works with it and helps him to learn to just dip his head. And then they bond. During all their work, the youngest, Natalie, left a note because she went to go look for citrus berries for Brock because he had said he wanted some. And our Who's That Pokemon trivia is, this Pokemon's body temperature is over 1,100 degrees.
1,100 degrees.
Ash, Rita, and Brock go looking for her and find the little Lotad following along. A Beedrill comes after Natalie as she finds the citrus berry, and Brock comes to the rescue with Forretress. Then Team Rocket is on the lake with a busted bot boat that is designed to capture all the Lotad, and they deliver an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble. We're on a Lotad run.
And make it double for a tad more fun. Lotad decides to be a riding device for Pikachu as they chase down Team Rocket. Pikachu surfs up to the boat, and the little Lotad blows a hole in the front of the ship to free the captured Lotad. Then Pikachu zaps Team Rocket and sends them blasting off again! Ding! Before the gang leaves, the little Lotad decides to join Brock, and so there is another Gotta Catch 'Em All!
As Brock gets more non-rock Pokemon.
Well, remember, he wants to be like a breeder, so he's got to branch out from the rocks.
But we know he's going to get Mudkip, too, so, like, he's going to get more.
We're pretty confident about that. Anyway, based off the opening.
We know.
I haven't seen it happen.
We know.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Magby. And we had a boss fantasy, a busted bot, an interesting intro, and a gotta catch 'em all. And 1 exclamation point.
Yeah, you read it way too excitedly for 1.
Arguable.
No,
and now...
No, I created, I know.
It's time to rank it.
I want it right below Poached Ego and right above In the Nicker of Time.
Oh, that sounds like a good place. All right, so the Lotad Lowdown is our new number 6 out of 12. All right, and then we're on Season 6, Episode 13. All Things Bright and Beautifly. Or, Pokemon Contessuto, Agahanto no Kare na Bataru. Or, Pokemon Contest, Age Hunt's Magnificent Battle. I actually knew Contesto. I've learned that in our Japanese lessons. Anyway, The gang reach Rustboro Hall, which is apparently still a day's walk from the actual city. So we're not quite where we're hoping to be. There they find a lot of trainers grooming their Pokemon and getting them to perform moves that are flashy. They're getting ready for a Pokemon contest. A Beautifly is all over May until its owner, Janet, shows up and Brock is immediately smitten. He flirts with Janet but is smothered by the Beautifly for a babysitting Brock.
No, I don't think that counts.
It's just funny because all the people that he's flirting with, it's their Pokemon doing the babysitting now.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have Misty.
Yeah, we don't have Misty. The gang want to enter the contest. Meanwhile, Team Rocket signs up and turns out to be the last ones able to as they fill out the last spot. So when Janet and Chaz find out that Ash is going to the gym, they find out he might have trouble there because it's a rock gym. So they offer to teach Pikachu Irontail.
Golly gee, he's never done anything against a rock gym before. It wasn't the first gym he defeated or anything.
And it's not like he doesn't have a grass-type Pokemon. Just train that guy up. Anyway, they're going to teach Pikachu Irontail to help with the rock. The contest is underway, and May and Max are going to be Janet's assistants for the contest. When it is time for Team Rocket's turn, Jessie uses Seviper, but it doesn't know any of the moves Jessie is trying for. The audience is not impressed. But then Jessie has it use Poison Tail, which sends Jessie flying up into the ceiling, and the rest run off as they get a score of 0. So it was a pretty lame performance with Team Rocket.
I thought they were going to be nice and give him at least, like, I don't know,
Nope.
0.5.
Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon's shell will break and spout flames.
You spout flames.
Then there is a battle between Chaz and Janet with their Beautifly and Venomoth to see who wins by being more stylish and not really about defeating the other Pokemon, because this is a contest, not a battle. Like, it's a battle in the contest, but it's not meant for the battling specifically. Its score bars look kind of like health bars, which makes it look more like the game with this particular battle, which is kind of fun. In the end, Janet wins, and during the match, May decides she wants to compete in a contest. Then Team Rocket arrives to steal the winning Pokemon since they couldn't win on their own, and they reward us with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble as we congratulate.
And make it double while we coordinate. They net Beautifly and Venomoth, and so a battle ensues. Ash tries to have Pikachu use Iron Tail, but he hasn't quite learned it yet. Like, his tail glows for a second, but it doesn't go very far. Then May actually uses Torchic well to hit back Seviper, so this is the first time Torchic is actually doing some real good battling. And not just running into a rock or anything. Like, she tried to battle that Knickerbocker guy, but it didn't, go anywhere. So it hits back Seviper and frees the captured Pokemon, who then whirlwind Team Rocket into the air and send them blasting off again. Ding! Janet wins first place, and the gang take off for Rustboro. Yeah, pretty simple, but it was kind of cool that we already got an example of a contest, even though we haven't run into the contest in the video game yet. Our Who's That Pokemon? It's Magcargo, and our tallies are a babysitting Brock and an interesting intro. Now to rank it.
You're an interesting intro.
Thank you. I think I want to put it maybe right underneath A Bite to Remember, the Poochyena, and above the Pelipper one.
Okay.
Alright, so that makes it number 9 out of 13. But before we get to the last one to rank, we have a Pokemon Chronicles episode. Pokemon Chronicles, the Blue Badge of Courage. Or, Kasumi, Barubaji o Geto se yo. Kasumi, get the blue badge.
Dang it, I thought that I had 4 exclamation points. It always tricks me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said, but there was 3 exclamation points in the last episode.
Yay!
So, speaking of needing Misty around, we go back to Misty. She is going through the chores of being a gym leader. Psyduck tries to drown himself again, and we get a rockin' reunion with the arrival of Tracy. Didn't reunite with Ash, but Misty and Tracy had been together traveling before, so it is a
They
reunion.
were together? Wait, what?
You know what I mean.
I missed the tea. Oh.
What? Oak sent him to see if Misty needed any help with the Pokemon, and so he tries to help Misty train Psyduck to swim. It isn't going well, and then Sakura with her Espeon arrive in another rockin' reunion with an Evolution. She wants to battle for a badge. So Sakura wants to battle for a badge. So Misty goes to get one, but they aren't in the drawer, nor the safe. Calling her sisters, it turns out they forgot to get more, and Misty needs to personally pick them up from some guy in some village that makes them. Oh, and Sakura already has 3 badges, but they're all from Johto. She has the Zephyr and Hive from the first 2 gyms, and the Storm badge from the fighting gym on Cianwood, the island.
Cianwood.
I've heard it both ways.
Of course you have. You just heard yourself, and now you heard me.
Tracy, Sakura, and Misty head off to get the badges and leave Joy in charge for caring for the Pokemon in the meantime. Thanks to Espeon, the trio find a man at the bottom of a cliff with a twisted ankle. Is he related to Violet? Or Ruby?
Dude, so many people twist their ankles.
But Violet also fell off a cliff and twisted her ankle, specifically, so I just think that's funny.
I've never fallen off a cliff.
I know.
I twist my ankle walking through a yard, Daddy.
I know what you did.
Actually sprained it, couldn't walk on it.
Yeah.
Really
Anyway, they help him back to his cabin and learn that he is the one who makes the badges, and his name is Kinzo. They want him to give over some badges, but they have to work to earn the badges. They're woken up at 4 a.m. the next morning and are set to work making badges themselves, although I think they start with exercise, going up and around a mountain or something.
How on earth did the other sisters get their badges? There's no way they did this.
Right? I don't know.
Did they use something else? Your eye.
I'm not going to answer that. All right. With 3 perfect badges, this is a family show. With 3 perfect badges, Kinzo has one last task. Battle his Feraligatr. Misty calls out Corsola, and we get a Psyduck sighting instead. Psyduck panics and runs down and ends up in the water and starts drowning. Kinzo refuses to give the badges to a gym leader who has a water Pokemon that can't swim. As they chase down Psyduck, who doesn't want to learn to swim, they run into Kinzo, who announces the badges have been stolen. So they all go out to find the thieves. When they find them, there's a battle, and the thieves are defeated when Psyduck gets a headache and uses his psychic powers. Kinzo recognizes Psyduck is impressive, and after defeating the thieves, they get to have the badges. Back at Cerulean Gym, Misty and Sakura battle, and Sakura earns her Cascade badge.
Huzzah!
There's no Who's That Pokemon. There were 2 exclamation points, I believe. And our tallies are 2 Rockin' Reunions, an Evolution, and a Psyduck sighting. Alright, and so we don't rank it. And so now, Season 6, Episode 14. All in a Day's Wurmple. Or, Dabaru Batoru to Danburu de Kemuso? Or, Double Battle and Double Kemuso? Rustboro is just beyond the woods the gang is currently in.
But can they find Rustboro, or are they lost in the woods?
But also they're in woods that don't exist now, because we already did the flower shop. There's no more woods between here and Rustboro.
There were trees.
There were trees. There were trees.
How do you know those aren't the woods they're in? Just because we couldn't go through them doesn't mean they can't.
There were trees.
Right.
Right.
Duh, Daddy.
I'm so dumb. Anyway, and then a Wurmple drops out of a tree right in front of May, freaking her out. But then May learns that they evolve into Beautifly, and so she chases it down, wanting to catch it. Brock and the rest decide to take a break for lunch while May goes looking for Wurmple. Team Rocket, who have been spying, are excited about getting some Wurmple so they can win contests with a Beautifly and maybe even give some to Giovanni. While they go looking, Jessie knocks out a Weedle and a Kakuna from a tree and continues kicking it until a swarm of Beedrill come after them. Idiot.
Well, she kicks the tree, and Weagle comes down. She kicks again, and that thing comes down.
Kakuna.
Yeah, and then as she keeps kicking it, James and Mouth are like...
Yeah, they're like calculating.
Kakuna. What evolves from Kakuna? Beedrill! And then they all have to run.
It was hilarious.
They were really slow, though. They're like... brrr,
Yeah.
brrr.
They go by May, and so she runs too, and they all go over a cliff. Team Rocket rise up and deliver an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, not that we are united.
Make it double, 'cause you weren't invited. And then we get an irritating interruption as May sees Wurmple and runs off after it, so they don't get to finish their motto.
Ha ha, sucks to be you.
She totally ignores them. May and Jessie both pull out Pokemon to try and catch Wurmple. Instead, they battle each other. James sends in Cacnea, but before they can take out Torchic, a Heracross shows up and knocks them back. The trainer is a boy with a mole under his left eye and wears a blue shirt under his yellow one. Then, this is important.
Once you get to the other one, I have something to say.
Okay. Then the boy sends Heracross to knock Team Rocket and their Pokemon into the sky! Ding! Wurmple is vanished, and the boy, Franklin, offers to help. Back at lunch, Ash is training Pikachu some more to get the Iron Tail attack down. It still isn't there, and then a boy with a mole under his right eye and wearing a red shirt under his yellow one arrives.
We were like vaguely paying attention during the episode. Other things were going on. And so we were going through and watching it. And then like probably a few times after we go back and forth, I'm like, hey, wait a second. Daddy, I think there's two of them. I think there's twins. And you're like, wait, what?
Yep.
Because you didn't notice that. I barely noticed. It's like, wait, just a minute. Didn't we just... May's not with the crowd, and one's with May and one's with Ash. What did we miss?
So he looks just like Franklin and also introduces himself as Franklin. May and Blue Franklin are climbing a mountain, and May learns that the boy has lived there for a long time, and he is a ranger. Meeting a lot of rangers lately.
You're a ranger.
Okay. Back to the other group, Red Franklin is explaining double battles and how they've been accepted into the general rules in Hoenn for a long time. Ash has double battled before in the Orange Islands at one of the gyms.
Hey, Orange Islands weren't supposed to happen, so he doesn't remember anything.
Yet he seems to have never heard of it.
Wait, does Tracy really exist?
Anyway, we get a trainer training battle with Red Franklin using Yanma and Ariados against Ash's Pikachu and Trico for a double battle. In the battle, Pikachu gets a successful Iron Tail, but he fails to use it a second time in a row. Ash wins, still, and we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon is known as the Ruler of the Seas. Then back to May and Blue Franklin. They sit and enjoy some Pecha berries? I don't know, maybe it's Pecha berries?
Pika berries.
I don't think it's that. Because that would get too confusing with Pikachu.
Pika berries?
Blue Franklin kind of wants to travel, and to do so with May, but then a Wurmple shows up, and May sends Torchic to battle and weaken it. It takes 2 Pokeball attempts, but May does get the Wurmple in a gotta catch 'em all.
Huzzah.
But then the Wurmple Pokeball is snatched up by Team Rocket, and we get a second interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, we'll steal what we choose.
Make it double. We choose Wurmple. You lose. And this time, they have an outstanding outro.
Team Rocket lies, cheats, and steals at the speed of light.
Surrender to our criminal ways, or prepare to fight.
Prepare to fight? I'll just kick you. Hiya.
Why did you kick me?
It was a visual aid for the people.
So dumb.
Did you just say you're so dumb?
Yes. Visual aid for the listeners. Blue Franklin sends in Heracross, which sends Team Rocket crashing, and May catches her Wurmple. A battle ensues, and May brings in Wurmple to fight alongside Torchic for a double battle type of thing. Wurmple's string shot wraps up the Team Rocket Pokemon, and Heracross sends them blasting off again! Ding! As everyone is reunited, we learn Red Franklin was out traveling and recently arrived back. Blue Franklin says, "Welcome back, Forester," to Red Franklin, who responds with, "Thanks, Forest." So that must be their real names. Apparently they're...
Forrester and Forrest? Really, parents? Why would you name your children Forrester and Forrest? Like, that's not confusing. I feel bad for both of them, because if their parents want something, they're like, Forrest. They have to wait for Forrest, and see. And if they just say Forrest, then the one goes. But they both have to be like, what? Oh, not me.
Yep.
Like, that's just so annoying. Why would you name your children that?
I don't think it really matters. You know why?
Stupid. They don't have parents.
No, but you know why? Because how many times have I called the name of a child, or not even said the name of any child, and I'll have one or two of the other children show up and be like, did somebody call me? And it was not even close. Not even close. They just... So it doesn't even matter. You can name them whatever. You can name them both the same name. Just don't matter. Anyway.
Me of the one time that you had a fan blowing on you, and I was in the kitchen, and you called the flame, and you're like, is Flame in the kitchen? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the kitchen. And you're like, come here. I'm like, it's me!
Jessica!
I didn't say the Jessica part, actually, but...
Anyway, the two boys are apparently identical twins, which I don't think is possible because their moles are on the opposite side, so I don't think that can be classified as identical. Like, I think you have to actually have all the same features.
Sticker.
They just are wearing a sticker. Maybe that was how the parents told them apart.
Forrester.
Little tattoos underneath their eye.
Oh, yeah. They gave them tattoos as a baby? What?
Yep, must.
That's not supposed to be allowed.
But it was kind of cool that we have twins who also introduced double battling, even though Ash has done it before, just like the twins do on the way to Rustboro in the game. Just different kinds of twins, but still twins.
Gorilla twins.
Yep. And it turns out their last name is Franklin, so Forrest Franklin and Forrester Franklin, which is why when they introduced themselves as Franklin, they weren't really lying. They just went by their last name. Which, why would you do that? But whatever.
Like, yeah, my name's...
And Forrest is going to go on a journey, and Forrester will now look after the forest. They're basically going to switch spots. And then it's time for lunch. But Wurmple eats all the food and then goes to sleep. I think this Wurmple might secretly be a Snorlax. And then we get back to Team Rocket hanging off a branch, and they see Wurmple. They see a Wurmple. Jessie manages to catch it, and I gotta catch 'em all. Wobbuffet pops out, and the branch snaps.
And she didn't battle it like it's always reminded.
Yes, you are Jessie.
You know. Do you see pink hair?
You just disguise.
I'm in a disguise.
So I wanted to propose something though. Team Rocket, like you didn't like the idea of maybe counting their little epilogues when they have them, because they have lots of those too.
Okay.
Where we at the end of the episode we see Team Rocket like in a bad situation.
It's really often.
Right. But a little less often, not necessarily fully less, but a little less often, is them hanging from branches and them breaking. And I think I might want to count that.
Okay.
Are you on board?
Sure.
All right. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but... So our who's that Pokemon? It's Lugia. And our tallies are, we have 2 interesting intros, an irritating interruption, trainer training, gotta catch 'em all, an outstanding outro, and what we're currently calling breaking branches. We're putting our first count here, but I have to go back and retally some stuff. Now it's time. Oh, and we had an exclamation point and a question mark for this one. Now to rank it. I don't know if I said we had 2 gotta catch 'em alls, but we have 2 gotta catch 'em alls. Right above a Lotad Lowdown and under a Poached Ego?
Yeah.
All right, so All in a Day's Wurmple is now number 6 out of 14. All right, so now, with everything ranked, it is time to choose our Pokemon. Who's the standout Pokemon out of these episodes?
I don't know. We featured a different one in each one.
Right?
I think I'm going to go with this one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, Lotad.
Beautifly. Because Wurmple's hope is to be a Beautifly.
Mm-hmm.
And
I almost went that very same thought process and direction, but I really liked Little Lotad. All right, well, with all the episodes and manga talked about and ranked and everything, it's time for Pokemon cards.
Yahoo! It's me, Mario! And Luigi.
All right, cracking open my Mega Evolution Elite Trainer box. I got the Gardevoir one. So yeah, my Elite Trainer box comes with this promo Alakazam. Alakazam wields potent psychic powers. It's said that this Pokemon used these powers to create the spoons it holds. Evolves from Kadabra, Psychic. Ability, Psychic Draw. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Draw 3 cards.
Today, we are both opening Mega Evolution, and I have a Gardevoir on my pack.
And so do I.
And I get to go first! Jeez Louise, I thought that my Pokemon was a Pikachu, but then I was like, wait, that's just the back of the thingy. I was pretty sure I was opening it correctly.
All right, go ahead.
First one is Ice-Q, water type. On hot days, these Pokemon press their ice cube heads together and pass the time cooling each other down. Bayleaf evolves from Chikorita grass. The spicy scent that wafts from around Bayleaf's neck somehow makes those who smell it want to fight. We're just going to skip that one.
What?
No, I don't want it. You can have it. It's untouchable.
Yay.
I don't want it.
What do you have?
I can't say it.
Ruby.
I can't say it.
I think I just said its name.
You can say it if you want.
Looks like Ruby got a Spearow colorless. Well, it's kind of a cool picture, too. Due to its short wings, it can't fly long distance. It wanders about restlessly and pecks at bug Pokemon.
You taking a picture of it? No, don't you dare! Don't you dare! I'm stealing your cards. You might want to grab them. I'm going to steal them! Stop! No! You can't get a good picture.
Knock it off. Read your cards.
My next one is Onyx, fighting type. It rapidly... I don't want that thing. It's like kryptonite to Superman. Onyx, fighting type. It rapidly bores through the ground at 50 miles per hour by squirming and twisting its massive, rugged body. Executor evolves from Execute.
Evolves from a leaf stone in Leaf Forest.
Okay. Grass type. It is called the walking jungle. Each of the nuts has a face and a will of its own. Ooh. Latios.
Ooh.
Dragon. It's a water
Nice.
psychic dragon. Ability. Lustrous Assist. Once during your turn, when your Mega Latias EX moves from your bench to the active spot, you may use this ability. Move any amount of energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. It understands human speech and is highly intelligent. It is a tender Pokemon that dislikes fighting. It's only an uncommon.
Oh, cool. Well, I like it.
Repel, trainer item. Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Your opponents choose the new active Pokemon. Ooh, first reverse hollow. Oh, I kind of like that. It smells like just a
Yeah, it's very shimmery.
Buniri, colorless. Buniri can attack by rolling up its ears and then striking with the force created by unrolling them. This attack becomes stronger when training. Second reverse. Oh my gosh, no.
Second reverse hollow is the Spearow! The same one, but now with the cool foil on it.
Touch my hand. It's got cooties now. I need to go get wipes out of my room. I'm going to cut these cards and douse them in water.
I love that you got 2 Spearow. That's fantastic.
This is a really cool card. Okay. Mega Obama Snow EX Water evolves from Snover. Look how pretty that is. Oh, that's so
Oh, man. Because you had a cool one before, too, didn't you? Like last time? Didn't you have like a cool Mega Pokemon that was really colorful?
Yeah, I think so. This guy.
Oh, yeah, your Mega Mawile.
He was pretty cool. They're really pretty. Like,
yeah.
Really pretty.
They are really pretty.
I bet you're going to get one with these packs since they're like Mega Evolution.
I know last time you were the one that got the cool card, so I don't know.
I know, but I bet at some point you're going to get one. Maybe not today. And then a Dark Energy.
All right. So my first card is Riolu, fighting type. They communicate with one another using their auras. They are able to run all through the night. I got a Vulpix, fire type. If it's attacked by an enemy that is stronger than itself, it feigns injury to fool the enemy and escapes. Tinkatuff evolves from Tinkatink.
Tinkatink.
Steel type. Ability, Haphazard Hammer. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This Pokemon will attack groups of Poniard and Bisharp, gathering metal from them in order to create a large and sturdy hammer. So it's destroying other Pokemon to make its hammer.
Yay!
Seedot, grass type. To expand its habitat, it pretends to be a nut. Cuckoo! So that bird Pokemon will pick it up and carry it far away.
Smart.
Ooh. Psychic type Kadabra evolves from Abra. So I can almost get to my Alakazam. I just need Abra.
Kadabra, Abracadabra, Alakazam!
And it also has the ability Psychic Draw to draw 2 cards when you evolve a Pokemon with this. This Pokemon's telekinesis is immensely powerful. To prepare for evolution, Kadabra stores up psychic energy in the star on its forehead. Frostmoth evolves from Snom, water type. Frostmoth senses air currents with its antenna. It sends its scales drifting on frigid air, making them fall like snow. Supporter Trainer card, Lieutenant Surge's Bargain. Ask your opponent if each player may take a prize card. If yes, each player takes a prize card. If no, you draw 4 cards. My first reverse holo is Lunatone, fighting type. Ability, Lunar Cycle. Once during your turn, if you have Solrock in play, you may discard a basic fighting energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Draw 3 cards. You can't use more than 1 Lunar Cycle ability each turn. It was discovered at the site of a meteor strike 40 years ago. Its stare can lull its foe to sleep. My second reverse holo is an item trainer card, Premium Power Pro. During this turn, attacks used by your fighting type Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And my rare card is Xerneas, psychic type. When the horns on its head shine in 7 colors, it is said to be sharing everlasting life.
Ooh, that is a pretty, picture.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But still no Mega or anything like that again. Grass-type energy card.
I'm sure you'll get one. There's, a bunch.
We'll see. All right. Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and other podcasting platforms. So wherever you do find us, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, rate, review, leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're also on YouTube at the Hunterfield Institute channel. Just look for the Routes Through Pokemon playlist. You can also email us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com. And you can find me posting on X at at X at HunterfieldInns, on Instagram at kinetic_card, and we have a Facebook page, Routes Through Pokemon. Next week, we will be covering a handful of Chronicles, arguably 3 or 5 episodes of Chronicles, because 2 of the episodes were originally split in half, but they're still only equal a full 20 minutes. And we will be covering 2 regular episodes of the anime, which will take us to the Rustboro Gym. And we will also be covering about 6 chapters of the manga? 5? We'll be covering 5 chapters of the manga. So thank you so much for listening and journeying with us this far, and we will catch you on the next route. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara. Part 62. Digging for Hope. Planks of wood clattered loudly to the ground. Occasionally, the sound of glass shattering out from already broken windows punctuated the moments. Carrying the melody through it all were the grunts of a young girl desperate to find any trace of her Pokemon. Sweat poured down her face as she lifted another large piece of timber onto its end, and then pushing it over toward the outer edges of the destroyed building. She had been out there in the beating sun for over 2 hours. After learning that her Horsea and her father's Eevee were missing, Violet wasted no time marching out to where the Pokeballs had last been seen. Those looking after her had recommended more bed rest after that very wreckage she was digging through had collapsed on her. But rest was something Violet deemed impossible at that moment. As the girl worked, pieces of her shattered memory were starting to come back. They were fuzzy images at first, sort of like the wreckage had started to look to her. Soon they became clearer, and she remembered battling on the SS Anne, and then listening to an old man talking about his Rapidash. There had been a welcoming boy. It was his family that had allowed Violet to stay and rest. After an hour of working, it was the image of that building and how she had arrived there that began to come back. A young boy had led her there, and it turned out to be a trap by that strange man in a lot of heavy, ragged clothing. Their goal was to steal Violet's Pokemon, and she worried it was partially successful. It was thanks to a couple of acquaintances that Violet survived the encounter. First was Shiro, the nice man she kept running into at Pokemon centers. He blasted in with a Blastoise, interrupting the theft. And after the building collapsed, he and the pink-haired girl, Hanako, retrieved Violet from the rubble. Then Hanako was the one to find a safe place to recover. Normally, the destination would have been a Pokemon Center, but for some reason, Violet was in trouble with the law. Something to do with her name not being Margaret. As if that made any sense. It was around that memory when Violet's knee buckled the first time. She hardly made note of it and kept working, needing to be sure her Pokemon were nowhere to be found in that debris. It wasn't until she could barely distinguish the shapes of anything in front of her, and her knee buckled the third time, that she realized she was in trouble. She had been trying to lift another large piece of what had likely once been part of a wall when it happened. Her strength gave out and she crashed hard, slamming her knee into the jagged debris. Both pants and skin tore and she winced in pain.
Hey, are you okay?
The voice belonged to a young boy, but it sounded far off to Violet, and she couldn't make him out in the blurring, bright light that seemed to surround her.
I'm okay. I just need to rest a moment,
is what Violet thought she had said. But the boy's response didn't make sense to her.
Okay. Just wait right there. I'll get help.
As Violet laid her head down against the hard, uncomfortable plank, she started to think that maybe she hadn't responded at all. Her head pounded, and her eyes closed, and then, before she knew it, she was choking on cold water. In her mind, she thrashed violently, but in reality, her arms lifted weakly, and her head only raised, thanks to a hand behind it helping her out. "Take it easy," said a gentle voice that Violet did not recognize. Violet didn't want to take it easy. She still needed to find her Pokemon. But her head was still pounding and her vision blurry. She also wanted more water. That small amount she choked on had made her realize just how dry her throat was. Whether the voice she had heard belonged to someone who could read minds, or she had made some indication on her own of what she wanted, she suddenly felt a bottle at her lips, gently pouring water into her mouth. This time she managed to swallow without too much difficulty.
Thanks,
she croaked. How long have you been out here? It's not a cool day. After that storm, the humidity is killer. Violet had no response. She didn't know how long she had been out there, and she hadn't really noticed the heat. Her only concern was for her missing Pokemon. Nothing else had mattered, including her own health, it seemed. Well, either way, we should get you out of the sun. Where do you live?
I don't think she lives here.
The young boy from before chimed in.
She looks like a trainer.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right, Sale. Violet felt more water being offered to her as the older boy spoke again. We'll help you get to the Pokemon Center, then. Violet started to nod, but then suddenly remembered that she couldn't go back there, and shook her head with more effort than she had shown in a while. No, why not? Because she is wanted for questioning about a possible Pokemon theft. Violet's heart sunk. She turned to look where the new voice had come from, and though she still couldn't see clearly, she could clearly see that the new voice belonged to an officer. Miss, I will need you to come with me. Now. To be continued.